Hello and welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about the Black-Eyed Susan. The Black-Eyed Susan is, in my opinion, the most underrated herb in witchcraft. It's overlooked in really an extreme way. It is an American herb, so I feel like more American witches should be using it. It is the perfect blend of light and dark. It brings the dark into the light so that you can see yourself more clearly and, in effect, change. So the Black-Eyed Susan is mood lifting. It, because of the bright yellow color, is a solar herb. It has a lot of medicinal qualities. I wildcraft these. So most parts of the Black-Eyed Susan are not toxic. The black seeds are said to be toxic. The Native Americans use this as a poultice for snake bites, and it would draw out the poison. We can use this in legal spells. It's very good for that. We can use this for shadow work. The aspect I was telling you about where you bring the dark to the light. That's it. So one of the major ways that you can use this is for spirit communication. This, in combination with Morning Glory Vine, which bridges the gap between the worlds, is an extremely powerful combination that you can use to induce the communication. Now, a great way to start out is through dream work. And the reason why is because the communication becomes easier. You're in a relaxed state, a semi-conscious state as you sleep, and this is where many times you will, when you have a dream, almost every time, if you have a dream about a deceased loved one, there's a message in there somewhere. I had to learn this the hard way, but it is very true. It takes an extremely large amount of energy for most spirits to be able to communicate with you. It's easier when you are in the dream state. It's easier to make passage. It's easier to go between the realms unless you practice an awful lot. A lot of meditation. So what I want to do today is focus on our Black-Eyed Susan, which I sell in my store like this. Now, I wildcraft these. They are extremely prolific where I live. Last year was extremely hot, and they didn't grow as, the flowers didn't get as big, and there weren't even half as many, so I wasn't able to because I'm not going to harvest everything. I would never do that. So some other herbs that I sell in my store that we're going to use today is fir. It is known as the tree of immortality. Apples. Privet. The ancient Greeks used to burn privet wood in order to open doors to other worlds. We have mullein, aspen wood. Now, aspen is something that the ancients used when they traveled between worlds. It was for courage, it was for bravery and strength. And then we have our good old morning glory vine. So all these things I'm going to be using in my oil lamp. We're going to make an oil lamp for communication. Now you can do this for just general communication, or you can do it for a specific person. If you do that, you're going to need a tag lock for that person and something like a petition. So the Black-Eyed Susan, I think that everyone should partake of its glory and see how rewarding it can be for many different aspects. You can also, the Black-Eyed Susan is a great one to pair with evening primrose, which is a lunar herb, and it helps to heal the wounds that you may have received in childhood. So that's another great combination right there. Evening primrose and Black-Eyed Susan. Morning glory and Black-Eyed Susan. I've made an oil lamp like that with this before with great success. So I know that this is a very powerful combination. I know this alone is powerful, or this, just looking at this, when you walk outside and you see a field full of beautiful Black-Eyed Susans blowing in the late summer wind, it is a sight to behold, and it will definitely lift your mood. So I'm going to get everything ready for the oil lamp portion, where I'm just going to walk you through it and explain a little bit what you put into it. But let me tell you, oil lamps for ancestor or spirit communication is going to be better than a candle every time, because it burns hotter, it burns brighter, it burns longer, it's more efficient, it's more powerful. I love candles for everything else. I love candles, I love making candles, I love burning candles, I love being able to use them as a divination tool. But whenever I am serious about communication, this is the way to go. Okay, so now we are ready to make our oil lamp. And so the first thing I'm going to do is put in my tag lock. I'm going to put in some coins. Now this is my petition, and you can either put it in the oil lamp or you can burn it. And really, I just feel like burning something right now, so I'm going to burn it. Pardon me. Okay, we're gonna let that burn while we do the rest. And while you're building your oil lamp, you can have some incense burning, whatever kind you like. So, first I'm going to put in some fir. This is the tree of immortality, and it brings you closer to that realm. I like to burn a little of my herbs, and this is a great herb that you can use also in smudging. Star anise is going to aid in communication, as are most of these herbs. So mullein is burned, especially at Samhain. It's made into long taper candles. They get very tall, and their flower is very fluffy. They dip these in wax and soot, and they call them hag torches. And at Samhain, they are said to lead the spirits home. So apples are the symbol of the other world. They're great for divination. They're very diverse. You can use them in all kinds of different spells. We're going to put some privet, which the ancient Greeks burned to open doors to the other world. Here I have thyme and rosemary. Rosemary is for remembrance, and thyme is for honor. And of course we have our beautiful yellow black-eyed Susans that are the star of the show, as far as I'm concerned. Here we have a piece of aconite. It's a sacred herb of Hecate, and it is a facilitator for communication. I have some crystals here. I have rose quartz, orange calcite to remove stumbling blocks and for clarity, yellow citrine for clarity of mind, clear quartz enhances all other aspects, amethyst for the divination aspect, black obsidian for protection, and lapis to open the lines of communication. Mugwort is great for divination, and particularly that of dreams, dream work. It was said that aspen carried your wishes on the wind to those on the other side. And last but not least, we have wormwood, which has long been known to summon. Just a little here and a little there. And now I'm going to add a little bit of juniper. And juniper is all about protection. Our morning glory vine. This is the bridge. This is the bridge. That was beautiful. Don't ever try that at home. hard to see in this one because it has the ridges on it. But there's all kind of great magic going on in there. Put my wick in here. And it's been soaking in oil. You have to soak your wick in oil for at least 30 minutes prior, because you don't want to try to start a dry wick. And just goes right down in there. I like to keep it real low. Then I'm going to add my oil. So right when I was filling it up, I realized that I had not turned the recorder back on. So you didn't miss anything except for me making a big mess. So here is and this oil that I had was actually the last oil lamp that I made for this purpose. We put the wick in. These were some protection bells that I made not too long ago. I think these are so pretty. Make sure you push the prongs in. And you can burn it real nice and slow like this and low. Now whenever you're doing an actual ritual or a communication, divination or whatever, you might want to turn it up just a little bit. Let's turn out the lights. It's pretty. So when you make your altar, there's certain things that you always need to have on your ancestor altar. Water, some offerings, things that your ancestors liked. Bells, you always need to have some bells. You're just going to speak very naturally, and there's not anything that you have to say or need to say. Besides, I would always, recommend that you always cast your circle. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will incorporate Black-Eyed Susans into your magical practice. And not only Black-Eyed Susans, but herbs that are near to you that you can pick. Most all of the herbs that I wildcraft are considered weeds or in some way invasive. You don't want to harvest anything that's endangered or anything like that. You want to be careful and respectful of the land. But yes, because the things that grow around you have connection with the spirit of the place, and it in that way enhances your work. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you.